All right, so get this. Remember FTX, the crypto exchange that went belly up last year?
Yeah.
Well, they're planning on paying back like $16 billion to their
Wow.
customers and creditors.
Starting in January 2025.
Yeah, 2025 is pretty wild, right?
That's a lot of money.
It is. It is. So we've got this article from Coinpedia that breaks it all down, this repayment plan. There's some interesting stuff in here.
Okay, like what?
Well, like they're focusing on the smaller claims first, like
Right.
under $50,000.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, I was thinking maybe it's a way to like show people they're serious, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean, like build some trust back.
Exactly. Instead of starting with these like huge, complicated claims.
Right. It's a good way to show they're making real progress.
Okay, so then the article also says they're aiming to give back 98% of what people lost.
98%.
Yeah, 98. And some people might even get 119% back based on
Based on what?
valuations from back in November 2022.
When Bitcoin was much lower.
Exactly.
So anyone who gets 119% is really, really in the green.
Yeah, talk about a silver lining. And they've even got Kraken and BitGo involved to help handle these repayments.
Oh, wow. That's pretty big.
Right. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it shows they're really trying to make this whole thing as legit as possible.
Like not just some shady backroom deal.
Yeah, exactly. Kraken and BitGo, those are big players. They're not going to be associated with something sketchy.
Right, they've got a reputation to protect.
Exactly. So for anyone who's still like, I don't know about this FTX thing, seeing Kraken and BitGo involved might be reassuring.
It makes it feel more official, like a real coordinated effort.
Exactly. And it shows how the crypto industry is maturing, you know? We're seeing more and more established institutions getting involved.
Right, like it's not just the Wild West anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's still early days, but I think this whole repayment plan is a big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the big question is, what does all this mean for the crypto market in general? Like, is this going to be a game changer?
Well, think about it. You've got billions of dollars potentially flowing back into crypto.
Right, right.
What do you think happens when the demand for Bitcoin suddenly jumps?
Prices go up,
Exactly.
especially with Bitcoin already over $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. So this repayment, it could be like rocket fuel for the market.
Whoa, rocket fuel, huh?
Some people are even saying this is going to kick off the next bull run.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I saw this tweet. It was from Quint Francois. He's like, the bull run just got its fuel. Buckle up. It's going around everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. A lot of people are saying that. Like, this is it. This is the moment.
Yeah, but, you know, markets are tricky. There's always other things going on, too.
Right, right.
Like, what if there's some big regulatory change?
Yeah, true. Or like even just how people react to the news.
Investor psychology, yeah. That's always a wild card.
Totally. So like, imagine you're one of the people getting this money back.
Yeah.
What would you do?
That's a good question.
Would you, like, hold on to your Bitcoin
Maybe.
or cash out?
I mean, some people will probably cash out, right? They just got burned.
Yeah, they might just want to take the money and run.
Exactly. But then some people, they'll see Bitcoin going up and think, this is just the start.
Got to ride the wave.
Exactly. And that's when it gets really interesting because it's not just about the money anymore. It's about psychology.
Right, like FOMO, fear of missing out.
Exactly. And some people, they might even be getting more Bitcoin back than they lost originally.
Oh, wow. That's true. Because the price is so much higher now.
Right. So they might feel like they've got a second chance, you know?
Not just to break even, but to actually make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can lead to some, maybe some impulsive decisions.
People get caught up in the moment.
Exactly. So yeah, this whole repayment thing, it seems simple on the surface, but who knows what's going to happen to the market?
It could be totally unpredictable.
That's crypto for you. It's always changing. So many things affect it, you know?
Technology, global events, people's feelings.
Oh yeah, feelings are huge in crypto. You can look at charts all day, but in the end, it's people making the decisions.
And people are emotional.
Totally. Okay, but there's another side to this whole FTX thing that we haven't really talked about yet.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it's not just about giving money back, right? They're trying to rebuild their reputation.
Oh, right. After everything that happened.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So the question is, can they actually do it? Will this repayment plan be enough to make people trust them again?
I mean, a lot of people got burned, you know?
Yeah, it was a big mess.
So can FTX actually come back from that?
That's the million-dollar question.
I
think it's going to be tough. Like, they're doing the right thing by paying people back.
Okay.
But it's going to take more than that.
Like what else do they need to do?
Transparency. They got to be totally open about what happened, you know?
Like admit they screwed up.
Yeah. And show that they've learned from it. Like, how are they going to make sure this never happens again?
Right. Like, people need to see real change, not just talk.
Exactly. People lost a lot. Not just money, but trust. FTX needs to acknowledge that.
Yeah, they need to show they get it. So this repayment, it's a start, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, it's just the first step. We'll have to see what happens next.
The whole crypto world will be watching, that's for sure. This whole FTX thing has been a wild ride.
Totally. And we're not done yet.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. The repayment plan, what it could mean for the market,
Yeah.
all the psychology stuff. But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier
Yeah.
about what we would do if we were getting this money back.
Oh, right.
It's a good question
It is. It makes you think.
because it's not just about numbers, It's about people's lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how they feel about crypto now.
Yeah, after everything. So I guess we should ask our listeners that same question. Imagine you're getting this money back, maybe even more than you lost. What would you do?
Would you hold on to it? Hoping Bitcoin goes even higher.
Or would you cash out? Like, I'm out of here. I've had enough.
Or maybe you'd use it to do something you've always wanted to do, like start a business.
Travel the world.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what's right for you.
Yeah, it's a personal decision. And there's a lot to think about. I mean, there's so much hype around crypto right now with this repayment and Bitcoin going crazy.
It's easy to get caught up in it all.
Yeah, and make some rash decisions. So
Yeah.
it's important to step back and really think things through. Don't let fear or greed take over.
Exactly. Do your research, talk to people you trust. This is a big deal.
And this is just one thing happening in crypto. This whole space is constantly changing.
Oh, yeah. It's always evolving. New technology, new regulations, new everything.
So what can people do to keep up?
Be skeptical. Don't believe everything you hear, especially on social media.
Right, there's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah, so do your own research, find good sources of information, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, the crypto community is actually pretty helpful. People are willing to share what they know.
It's all about learning and growing together.
Okay, so to wrap things up, I think the FTX story is a good reminder that crypto, it's a reflection of us.
What do you mean?
Well, it's got all the same stuff as the rest of the world. Good intentions, mistakes, greed, hope.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So we've got to approach it with our eyes open.
Be smart, be careful, but also be excited.
Exactly. There's so much potential here. All right, well, that's it for this deep dive. We've talked about FTX, the market, the psychology of it all. It's been a great conversation.
It has. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And to our listeners, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay true to yourselves.
Until next time.
See you then.